Mahabharata Episode 9, Childhood of the Pandavas and Kauravas. Namaste. In our last episode, we witnessed the extraordinary birth of the Kauravas, 100 sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, led by fierce Duryodhana, whose very arrival shook the earth with omens of destruction. At the same time, the Pandavas, children of Pandu, were born of the gods, grew up in the quiet forest. Today, their paths begin to draw closer as destiny gathers both branches of the Kuru family under one roof. Pandu, living in exile with his curse, continued to dwell in the forest with Kunti, Madri, and their children. The five Pandavas grew under the watchful eyes of sages, running freely among the mountains, wrestling with the wild animals, and playing with bows and arrows crafted from twigs. Yudhishthira, calm and steady, was already showing signs of leadership. Bhima, even as a boy, displayed immense strength. Once, it is said, he leapt into a river and crushed crocodiles with his bare hands. Arjuna's aim with the bow, even in childhood, was unmatched. Nakula and Sahadeva, graceful and intelligent, delighted all with their skills in caring for animals and their wisdom beyond their years. But fate was not done with Pandu. One day, overcome by passion, he forgot the curse and approached Madri. The curse stuck at once, and Pandu fell dead in her arms. Stricken with grief, Madri joined her husband in death, ascending his funeral pyre. Kunti, left widowed, now bore the heavy burden of raising the five young boys. With sorrow in her heart, she returned to Hastinapura, bringing the Pandavas back to their ancestral home. When the five brothers entered the grand palace of the Kurus, their cousins, the 100 Kauravas, came forth to meet them. From that moment, love and rivalry began to grow side by side. Bhishma, ever watchful, embraced the Pandavas as his own grandsons. He took it upon himself to ensure that both Pandavas and Kauravas were raised together, trained in the arts of war, statesmanship, and dharma. Under his guidance, the boys learned discipline. Later, Kripacharya, the wise teacher of the Kurus, began their formal education. Yet, even in those early days, the difference between them was stark. Yudhishthira was gentle and just, winning the affection of the people. Arjuna excelled in every weapon, his focus sharp as an arrow's tip. Bhima, with his raw strength, often dominated play and contests. Nakula and Sahadeva, handsome and intelligent, stood as loyal pillars to their elder brothers. Among the Kauravas, however, Duryodhana's nature revealed itself quickly. He burned with jealousy at the Pandavas' virtues, especially Bhima, whose strength overshadowed him, became the target of his envy. Though Duryodhana smiled in public, in his heart he plotted, seeking ways to weaken his cousins. Dushasana, his loyal brother, stood by his side in every mischief. Only one among the Kauravas, Vikarna, showed fairness and kindness toward the Pandavas. A faint glimmer of dharma among a sea of hostility. The palace echoed daily with the sound of mock battles, races, and wrestling matches. Here, the seeds of future enmity were sown. More than once, Bhima defeated Duryodhana in contests of strength, throwing him to the ground. Each humiliation deepened Duryodhana's hatred, like poison slowly spreading in his veins. Still, the elders hoped that education and discipline would temper the fire of rivalry. They entrusted the princess to a new master, the mighty warrior Drona, who would teach them the arts of warfare. It was under Drona that the true measure of their talents and their rivalries would come to light. Jai Sri Krishna.